Okay, so with this diagram, we have identified the summer months. We haven't done well, we took the summer months and we further analyzed them with the windrows. We haven't done yet and that's your cooling requirement diagram. So we haven't quite done our heating requirement diagram. However, we can kind of look ahead and determine which months are going to require some extra heating. And so we sort of have this intermediary zone where the information is sort of sparse throughout November, December, and January, but February and March for some reason are exceptionally cool. April, May, and June are sort of immediate, like in the middle ground as well. Um, so really, if you want to get simple about it, you could probably isolate January and then move this one over to say halfway through March, or at the end of March, sorry, and then pull it up to the location we had it before. So at that point, all of these become really simple to just modify and isolate particular elements like that. In fact, when it comes to your design assignments, Iggy will probably request that you cool through November and December and January as well. Probably. I'm sorry, warm, heat. Yeah, heat through those months as well. But, just for balance in the graph, I just want to show something like this for now. Talk to Iggy about it. I'll see what he wants. I don't know what his requirements are. I would cool it, or I mean heat it, sorry. So to delineate between the summer months and the winter months, we pretty much need to find some kind of graphic way of identifying which side is which, right? We could just label it with text. We could add some color coding bars or something like that, but I kind of want to just hear what would you do? And then we'll talk about the benefits of each, whatever your ideas are, and then we can produce one of them. So what ideas do you have to label the summer and winter months? Label, delineate, identify, however you want to do it.
Can we use colors? Is that allowed? Or what do you look at? Do you want us to present you with color ideas, text, or what?
What do you think's most effective?
Text.
I mean, I would use colors and do like a hot color for winter or for summers, and then a cool color for winters.
It's a good idea. I was thinking colors too. What colors do you suggest?
Maybe a bluish for winter, and then maybe like a reddish or red, orange, or yellow for summer.
Okay.
I don't know if those colors clash, but that's just what I was thinking.
So my thought is that you probably want to stick with your current color scheme.
Okay.
So if you chose those colors to represent your diagram, then by all means do it. What I'm thinking here is that since my heating load is red, and my cooling load is black, I can use a delineation of heating requirements to be red and cooling requirements to be black. So in this particular case, what I would do is pretty much just drop a kind of graphic bar at the top that shows where those are, and maybe put the text inside of it or something like that. You could just, put a dot as well, and with some subtext. There are so many different ways. It just depends on what your graphic style is going to be, essentially. So if you want to go with the bar, I'll drop both on and we can look at them. If you want to go with a bar, I would say all you really have to do is drop a guide or two, the size that you want to show. So if I do something like a 1/4 inch like that, 1/4 inch is too big. I can get rid of that. I'll just do 1/8 of an inch. So something like this, you could just guide it out like that and then drop a another rectangle on top of it. So we'll call this one something like, I don't know, marker layer. I don't know yet what I want to refer to them as. And then you just go to rectangle and then pick your fill and start having at it. So if this is an area that requires heating, I would make this a red bar. Come on.
You did a black overlay on that one, right?
What's that?
You did a black overlay?
Nope.
From January?
I just have white overlays here.
Oh, it's separate.
Yes?
I'm still a little bit confused on why you didn't put the white in those months. Why
These?
didn't you do it? Yeah.
Because if I'm looking at it, I see red, right? That means that that's where the hot temperatures are, where you need no cooling, right? So, and the gray area is area of comfort. So if, and this is what I was saying, like Iggy might actually want you to make it more like this. And in fact, maybe I will just do it like this so that you can see. So the gray area is comfort. The red area is that it's too hot. The black area is that it's too cold. So where it's too hot, you have to cool. Where it's too cold, you have to heat. So now this bar up top is a delineation of where and when throughout the year. Now it's a timeline. I have to heat. So I can pull that back. Whoops, too big. So I'm basically just going to use this bar graph to delineate where heating and cooling loads are going to be concentrated. And then this one would be black, because that's where you're going to cool. So rather than calling out, this is summer and this is winter or something like that, what you might consider doing is just labeling the timeline itself and letting the viewer interpret what it means, because it's pretty clear at some point if you just put a title on it that says cooling, heating, or passive or active requirements, something like that, whatever the text is going to be. So I don't think I've introduced text tools to you yet, have I? No? Okay. So text is a little interesting in Illustrator. If you click on the type tool type tool, this you can either just click on the space and start typing, or let me get rid of that, or you can click and drag a box and start typing. The difference is that it's basically going to be single line or multi-line text, and you can kind of transition between the two after the fact, no matter what. So up here, I'm just going to call this active strategies. So now I have text that is at default setting. If I need to change the color, I double click inside of it, and now you see that it creates a box around it instead, and I can select and change and retype and modify, that kind of stuff. If I need to change the color, I can go up here or over here and change the color. Oh, it didn't let me. Why not?
Did the thing where it didn't select.
Oh yeah, that thingy. There you go. See? But I want my text to be black, so I'll leave it like that. I will change the text settings. So there should be one here. Yeah, but I kind of, there should be one over there. I like having it over there. I just don't recall where it is. Anyway, so under the character panel right here, I think I could just drag this or something. I forget how to put it over there. Anyway, select the text, go to the character panel, and this is where you can change the text itself. So I don't know what text that is. It looks like it's kind of close to Myriad Pro. If you want to sort of default, and this is not going to be a class where we talk much about text. We're kind of just going to pick out a few good defaults. I know Myriad Pro is pretty good. Arial's pretty good. Galtami's all right. They're all ones that I use pretty often. So, but typically I think we're going to start off by defaulting to Arial. And you can also change, obviously the text size can change. I can go down to a 10, I can go all the way up to 21, which you won't be able to see because it's too big for the box. If that happens, you got to stretch the box, make it bigger. I think 10 is going to be enough for me. And don't worry about that one right now, but you can stretch the text to be super wide. Oh, is this one spacing or width? I think it's spacing. You can make it, yeah, you can make it, you know, stretch this way like that, or you can just change the spacing. All these things are modifiable, right? So Illustrator is really great at text modification, and particularly blending text with other color systems. So generally speaking, Arial with no modifications is where we're going to start. We'll talk about some specialized instances where you might want to go outside of the box on that as we get to it. Okay, so I'm basically going to put this one down here, but I want to point out the functionality of the text box itself. You'll notice that if I pull this box to be elongated like this, I can center or right justify or leave it aligned left. If I open the paragraph setting, oh no, not that, sorry. Character. Where's the vertical alignment? I forget. It doesn't matter. All right, well, I thought there was a vertical alignment. I just forget where it is. So anyway, you could just pull it down to the height that you want, something like that. If you have text that you've created as a single line, like this, let's see, 10, everything's the same. Single line text like this, active strategies. This one behaves a little bit differently than, say, that one would. I can lock it.
If you found out the vertical one,
What's that?
I found out the vertical.
Vertical.
Change the angle and the rotation on it. Select it on the character. And right
This?
there, yeah.
Oh.
To 90 and then it'll rotate it.
Oh, no, no, no. What I was trying to do is vertical justification within the box, so top, center, or bottom. Yeah, there's some setting somewhere. I'm not the text expert in Illustrator, but that's why I stick to my basic understanding stuff. So anyway, that gives us a pretty simple title on that line that we just created. But I want to point out something real fast, is that while right now it looks pretty cool, it's a sleek little line, and I can read, you know, the association going all the way across the top. One of the things that I, at first, when I was, you know, working in Illustrator, tended to overlook is the guides. So the guides give you a visual sensibility of information that's not really there. So when I right-click and I hide the guides, now I have a bar at the top that has gaps in it. Is that what I want?
I don't think so.
Maybe, it might be. Right now, I'm thinking probably not. I probably want to have the line go all the way across and show gaps, you know, like just a gap of white space with a line at the top and bottom that connects it so that it reads as a linear diagram. So maybe you just select it. You can turn, select line here, and turn the hatch off, turn your stroke on, and pick the smallest stroke width, like 0.25. And at that point, I'm really just going to grab the anchor at the top and bottom of each of the connections like this. And it's going to appear very, very thin.
The ruler,
Yeah, I want to
right click and turn on.
Oh, I got it.
Okay. Let me see if I can get more of that on screen. All right. What questions do you have? It looks good, right? It has a certain graphic finesse to it that's more than just slapping the thing on the page, right?
Cool, we normally
Yeah.
do.
It is what you normally do. And this is what we're trying to get to, is something that looks beautiful. It has some eloquence. It actually delineates more information than just the graph so that the people who are viewing it know what you're focusing on. Because there's more information there than you might be designing for. So what you need to tell us with this graph is what inferences you have made based on the research you've done, and which systems you've selected in your analysis to tackle as part of your design problem. That's what a diagram is supposed to communicate. Okay, so another exceptionally long video, but I think that it made sense to run this one all in the same thing. Yeah.